Hello, this is Gus from Relay Corp. In this video, I'm going to demo the proof of concept for Relaynet. We're going to simulate a very extreme scenario, one where you don't have access to the internet because you live in a country that doesn't have access to the internet. We are going to assume that Twitter supports Relaynet thanks to a third-party integrator, myself in this case. And we're going to be able to post tweets from that computer that is not connected to the internet, a tweet like this one that I posted a few weeks ago. So let's try the POC. Now, I have to warn you that the user interface is not the best, because the purpose of the POC was to put the protocol suite to the test. But the UI that I built for it is not user-friendly at all. It's a command line interface. But let's pretend that I'm just going to my phone and I'm just about to type the Twitter logo there. So I tap that logo and I now see the Twitter app. I get the option to post a tweet, so I'm just going to post something random here. Cool. So we can see here that the tweet was added to the queue, and again, it was added to the queue and not posted to the internet because you haven't got access to the internet here on this computer. Let's pause here and let's see what's actually going on behind the scenes. So this is my computer, and the Twitter app is running on my computer. There is this this separate piece of software from Relaynet called the Relaynet gateway, and this is buffering all the outgoing information that should go to the internet but can't go to the internet because it's unavailable. And similarly, eventually when we get data from the internet, it's going to distribute it among the appropriate apps on my computer. And in this scenario, we are going to be transporting the data. The data is going to be transported using USB flash drives, but it could be any medium of transport. So let's just, this is just the example that I'm using here. One thing to bear in mind is that in cases where you haven't got access to the internet, so you're using Relaynet without the internet, you're going to need what I call a relayer. The relayer is an individual or an organization that connects you to the internet by physically transporting the data. In this example, we are going to be, again, using USB flash drives, but that communication between the user's gateway and the relayer could be done over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or whatever. So I'm going to, let's assume that I got the USB flash drive from the relayer. At that point, I plug it to my computer, and let's pretend that that gibberish that I just typed on my screen is not really happening, but instead the gateway has a really nice user interface, and I just clicked on a button after connecting the USB flash drive. So what happened is that the gateway collected all the incoming data from the USB flash drive and also saved all the outgoing data, data that should go to the internet in the USB flash drive. Now, the relayer takes the USB flash drive, and they could potentially go to another user who's disconnected from the internet and do the same thing, but eventually that relayer is going to go away. They're going to go to a region where there is access to the internet, or I mean, they can actually stay in that country if they've got, say, a satellite link, some other way to connect to the internet. But however that's done, they eventually get to a computer that does have access to the internet. So at that point, they again connect, they plug the USB flash drive to that computer, and they click on a really nice button to send the data to the internet. In this case, what's happening behind the scenes is that the data is going to what I call the Relaynet gateway. This is the counterpart to that gateway that is running on the user's computers. So The user's gateway encrypted all the data using the public key for this relaying gateway. So the relayer has no way of interpreting or changing the data that these two gateways are exchanging. So as soon as the relaying gateway decrypts the data, it finds all the information that has to go to the different servers. And again, the data at this point is also end-to-end encrypted by at this level. So the only thing that the relaying gateway sees is where the data has to be posted to, but nothing else. So in this case, it posts the data to the Twitter API adapter, which is run by myself in this case, because Twitter doesn't yet support Relaynet, and then passes that data on to Twitter. Obviously, if Twitter supported Relaynet, then this component will be redundant. So at this point, we can see that it completed. So if I go back to to Twitter and refresh, I can see my message here. So the other thing that would be interesting to demo is the reverse operation. So getting data from the internet all the way to computers that haven't got access to the internet. Now, the way this is done in the POC is that the Twitter app sends a message to the, like just now when we did this relay, the Twitter app posted a separate message to the Twitter API adapter to tell it to post any new tweets that will normally surface on the user timeline, on the home timeline. And so that's what the Twitter API adapter is going to do. As and when there are new tweets available, it's going to post that. So let's now simulate that scenario. And again, let's assume that I am the relayer. I'm still connected to that computer with access to the internet. So what I'm going to do now is, again, click on that really nice button from the on my computer, not this gibberish that I just typed here. Now I've got the data from the internet that should go to those computers without access to the internet. So I unplug that USB flash drive and I go back to that region with no access to the internet. And again, as the relayer, I give the USB flash drive to the user. The user plugs the USB flash drive to their computer, and again, they click on that really nice button that they have there. The data is retrieved from the USB flash drive, stored here, and similarly, any data that was buffered is saved. And at that point, the user gateway has got the incoming data from the internet, and we are ready to pass it on to the Twitter app. So if I open the Twitter app again, I can see the latest tweets, those tweets that will normally be posted to my home timeline. So that's it. We were able to post and receive data from the internet, even though the internet was not available. And one thing to keep in mind is that any app compatible with Relaynet will not have to, like from the user's perspective, they could not tell any difference. So the fact that we are using a really ugly command line interface here has nothing to do with the technology. It's just the way that the POC was built. So that's it for now. Thank you very much.